then on the sporting stage, at the Asia Cup in the UAE. And both times, India secured the upper hand. We'll start with the diplomatic takedown. You may remember the Pakistan Prime Minister's address on Friday. It was as delusional as it gets. Shehbaz Sharif claimed victory over India. He called Pakistan a victim of terrorism. Hours later, India responded. Unlike Sharif, the Indian diplomat did not thump the table. She did not have to, because New Delhi relied on facts. Sharif dragged his bilateral grudges to the United Nations General Assembly. He named and complained against India, but Jaishankar did not. His speech focused more on India's worldview, on things like climate, energy, UN reforms. Basically, India spoke like a world power.
嗨，欢迎大家来到果果的新闻频道。本期重要看点：印度队赢了亚洲杯冠军，但拿不到奖杯，因为巴基斯坦籍的颁奖官直接把奖杯拿走了。这魔幻的一幕发生在上周末的迪拜。当五彩纸屑漫天飞舞时，印度球员只能对着空气庆祝，在社交媒体上用文字和图片代替奖杯发帖。就在几个小时前，联合国大会上刚刚上演了另一场印巴对决，巴基斯坦总理拍桌子控诉印度，印度外交官却连名字都不提，就完成了精准反击。一个周末两个战场，外交舞台和体育赛事同时开战。当板球比赛的胜负遇上政治角力，当国家尊严绑架体育精神，这场没有硝烟的较量比任何悬疑大片都精彩。今天我们就来拆解这场跨越外交与体育的魔幻对决，请看前方发来的报道。
When India and Pakistan face off, the result is certain. It is India that wins. And we saw that over the weekend. It was 2 days of heightened India-Pakistan tensions, first on the diplomatic stage at the United Nations General Assembly in New York, then on the sporting stage at the Asia Cup in the UAE. And both times, India secured the upper hand. We'll start with the diplomatic takedown. You may remember the Pakistan Prime Minister's address on Friday. It was as delusional as it gets. Shehbaz Sharif claimed victory over India. He called Pakistan a victim of terrorism. Hours later, India responded. Unlike Sharif, the Indian diplomat did not thump the table. She did not have to, because New Delhi relied on facts, on how Osama bin Laden was found in Pakistan, on how their military officers attended funerals for terrorists, and how their air bases were left smoldering.
This assembly witnessed absurd theatrics in the morning from the Prime Minister of Pakistan, who once again glorified terrorism that is so central to their foreign policy. However, no degree of drama and no level of lies. A country long steeped in the tradition of deploying and exporting terrorism has no shame in advancing the most ludicrous narratives to that end. Let us recall that it sheltered Osama bin Laden for a decade, even while pretending to partner in the war against terrorism. The Prime Minister of Pakistan also advanced a bizarre account of the recent conflict with India. If destroyed runways and burnt-out hangars look like victory, as the Prime Minister claimed, Pakistan is welcome to enjoy it.
Less theatrics, more facts. That was India's strategy against Pakistan. But the takedown was not done yet, because on Saturday it was India's turn to address the General Assembly. Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar delivered India's address, and once again the difference was stark. Shehbaz Sharif dragged his bilateral grudges to the United Nations General Assembly. He named and complained against India, but Jaishankar did not. His speech focused more on India's worldview, on things like climate, energy, UN reforms. Basically, India spoke like a world power.
India has confronted this challenge since independence, having a neighbor that is an epicenter of global terrorism. For decades now, major international terrorist attacks are traced back to that one country. UN's designated lists of terrorists are replete with its nationals. When terror hubs operate on an industrial scale, when terrorists are publicly glorified, then such actions must be unequivocally condemned.
The contrast is there to see. On Friday, Sharif spoke about Kashmir. He talked about so-called Indian atrocities there. Maybe that's what Sharif calls elections and investments, atrocities. Meanwhile, look at the scenes in POK, that is Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, the portion of Kashmir that is illegally held by Pakistan. Look at the situation there. Tens of thousands have hit the streets in protest. They have shut down shops and roads. Do you know why? For the most basic of things. The people in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir cannot afford electricity or flour. They're seeking subsidies on both. Other complaints include resource theft. Basically, POK's resources are being drained to enrich Islamabad, yet Shehbaz Sharif has the audacity to complain about India. Like I said, totally delusional. But there's a saving grace. All this humiliation was happening at the UNGA, so chances are Pakistanis were not tuning in to watch. IMF or World Bank, different story, but UNGA, maybe not the same level of interest. However, the same cannot be said of what happened on Sunday. That's when the Asia Cup final happened. India took on Pakistan in Dubai. The men in blue had beaten Pakistan twice in this tournament, so the final was the third encounter, and this one was a lot closer. Pakistan batted first. They posted 146 runs on the board. In reply, India started off badly. We lost 3 wickets inside 4 overs, but then came a massive recovery. It was led by Tilak Verma, who scored 69 runs. If you saw the match, you know how tense it was. It's hard to beat that sort of drama. But minutes after the win, that's exactly what happened. You see, the Asia Cup is organized by the Asian Cricket Council. That's Asia's top cricketing body. And right now, it is led by a man called Mohsin Naqvi. Does the name sound familiar? It should, because he is also Pakistan's Home Minister. So Team India refused to take the trophy from him, from the Pakistani minister. This led to some strange scenes in Dubai. When the confetti went off, India celebrated without a trophy. Some players posted pictures later on social media. Since they did not have the trophy, they used emojis instead. I know what you're wondering. Where did the trophy go? Well, Mohsin Naqvi stormed away with it. We're not making up any of this. The Pakistani minister took the trophy back to his hotel. The Indian board has now lodged a protest. They're asking the trophy to be returned. I guess there is petty, and then there is Pakistan. The fact is, we need to get that trophy ASAP. If not, Pakistan will start saying that they won the cup. But jokes aside, this weekend was very revealing. It confirmed 2 major truths. One, the gulf between India and Pakistan, whether in diplomacy or in cricket, we are not peers anymore. The emotion may give that impression, but the reality shows this. India is far, far ahead. And number 2, our strategies are different too. At the UNGA, Shehbaz Sharif resorted to theatrics. He thumped the table and spread falsehoods. But India remained poised and firm. At the Asia Cup, same story. Pakistani players mimicked falling jets and hurled abuses, but India, we registered our protest with poise. We informed in advance that we would not shake hands after the match. Frankly, Prime Minister Modi summed it up best. He posted this message after India's win yesterday. Operation Sindoor on the field. Outcome is the same. India wins.
精彩视频看完了。这篇印度甲亢姐前方发来的报道充分展现了印度媒体典型的民族主义叙事风格，通过外交和体育2个战场构建印度完胜巴基斯坦的故事线。报道将联合国大会描述为印度外交胜利的舞台。巴基斯坦总理谢巴兹谢里夫在大会上谴责印度，提及克什米尔问题被定性为妄想和戏剧化表演。相反，印度代表以事实为基础的反驳，提及拉登藏身巴基斯坦，军官参加恐分子葬礼等，被塑造为冷静理性的典范。印度外长苏杰生的演讲更被描绘成大国风范，因其未直接点名巴基斯坦，而是聚焦气候、能源、联合国、改革等 全球议题。这种对比刻意强化了印度是负责任大国，巴基斯坦是偏执邻国的形象。但报道选择性忽略了克什米尔争议的复杂性，将巴控克什米尔的抗议简化为经济民生问题，回避了该地区长期存在的政治诉求。亚洲杯决赛的描述充满了戏剧张力，印度3次击败巴基斯坦，最终以147分追平146分险胜。但真正的高潮在赛后，印度队拒绝从巴基斯坦籍的亚洲板球理事会主席手中接过奖杯，后者愤然离场并带走奖杯。这一情节被渲染成巴基斯坦小气又可悲的证据。报道暗示巴基斯坦球员模仿坠机动作侮辱对手，而印度则优雅抗议，事先通知不握手。这种道德高地的占据是典型的叙事策略，将对手妖魔化，将自身行为合理化。最值得玩味的是报道结尾，印巴已非对等竞争者，印度遥遥领先。这种反复强调的碾压式优势恰恰暴露出一种焦虑，如果真的遥遥领先，为何需要如此用力证明？报道开篇，结果永远不变，印度总是赢得断言，以报道中紧张激烈的比赛描述形成微妙反差。这篇报道不是客观新闻，而是情绪运动员通过外交辞令和体育胜负的双重胜利叙事，它强化了国内民族认同，满足了观众的心理需求。但这种叙事也固化了敌对情绪，将复杂的地缘政治简化为零和博弈。印巴关系的真实困境、克什米尔争议、水资源分配等，在这种胜利叙事中被彻底遮蔽。媒体成为民族主义的扩音器，而非理性对话的桥梁。谢谢大家观看，喜欢请点赞、评论加订阅，你的支持是我最大的动力。比心，明天见，拜拜，拜拜，拜拜。